Hey guys, welcome back. So, I uploaded. Apparently I now have a YouTube channel, whatever the case, whatever that may be. But, we had somebody who requested more content. Seemed to like what they liked. So we'll try this without cuts. Alona, you're supposed to be cleaning. We'll try this without cuts. Just so you know, I have 5 kids. 5 daughters, so this is food prep with kids from basically from prep to plate. Okay, so tonight we are going to have, or attempt to make, homemade biscuits. Recipe I've had for years. 20-minute homemade biscuits. I find very rarely is the preparation actually 20 minutes. But we want to kind of have all this ready within 3 or 4 minutes of each other. So multiple food prep. So we're making homemade biscuits. I think I haven't made this recipe in at least 5 or 6 years, so rusty. We have some Red Grill Inside Blade simmering steak, and that is 0.946 kilos, so 2 pounds. We got a recipe for that one tonight at 2 actually. So recipes. Probably post the recipe on the YouTube channel. We're gonna have mashed potatoes. This stuff's actually pretty good. Don't let the fact that it's powdered and whatever fool you, it's actually pretty good. And frozen veggies. So, let's see what we do. First of all, you never want a cold steak. I said that yesterday, I believe. You never want to cook a steak cold. So this was bought an hour or so ago. It's been warming up to room temperature. But because flank steak is not the most moist, most tender steak, you need something of a marinade to it. So we're going to take that there. We're going to put it on a plate or a platter. Watch your head, Mom. You're short, so it doesn't really matter that much. But we're going to take it out. Here's our platter. I'm going to place the pieces here. 2, I don't know. Okay, that's 2 and a bit, I guess. 3. Now, this whole tendon area stuff, that's going to have a tendency to kind of curl up the meat. So you're just going to kind of cut a little bit, about 1 inch apart where that tendon is. That's going to have the meat less tendency to kind of curl up as you cook. So it'll cook a bit more even. Everything okay, Mel?
Yeah.
Okay. So, marinade. We can marinate. We usually tend to marinate. I usually like marinating a couple days in advance, but the wife says she wanted steak tonight, so we're having steak tonight. You don't need a marinade that much, that long. The marinade I like, I find gives a really good flavor. Very simple, insanely simple. And my friend Chris Stobart, the sous chef from the beach house, he's gonna roll his eyes because he hates this. Oh, guess the kids didn't put that in the right place. Where's my metal bowls? Good enough. Simple, nice rush marinade, if you will. Three ingredients. Very simple. Very beautiful. Gives a nice flavor to your meat. You're supposed to be cleaning, not interrupting. You want to watch the videos later? You can watch the videos later.
Huh?
Bit of liquid smoke. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Worcestershire sauce. Bushmills. A friend of mine swears by Bushmills. It's the only hard liquor he will drink. I'm a non-drinker myself, so I don't know. I only use alcohol in terms of cooking. But figure if he likes it, if he swears by it, why not? So basically that's about 1 ounce. You want around 1.5 ounces to 2 ounces of whiskey. I'm gonna put that back. We want about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. And about a quarter to an eighth to a quarter of liquid smoke. Couple dashes, whatever you want to call it. Girls, I'm busy. You're supposed to be in your room cleaning, please. Give that a little stir. That's it. Smells good. Smells good. I can work with that. And we just liberally brush. Liberal as in generous, not political party or political stances, right or left. All right, we just kind of generously blop that. Kiara? Do we know where our coarse salt is? I see it above your head. Okay, I need some coarse salt. Oh, wow. What happened to our salt?
I think it got wet.
I can see it got wet. Wow. That was unexpected. Okay, I did not expect that at all. So, take a handful or so of coarse salt. You don't need anything fancy, really, for seasoning. Best in the world, honestly. The KISS principle always applies. Keep it simple, stupid. Generous, kind of push that down, just mash that down. You want your salt and your pepper and everything on the inside to basically be equal. You kind of want to push down so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan, right? So you want it kind of the same inside your steak so that it doesn't all your seasoning doesn't end up on the bottom of your pan. Improvising. That's the one downside to having kids. They never put things back where they should. And so you want your IKEA pepper grinder. Pretty good. Or spice grinder, but you want big, crunchy pepper flakes. This is adjustable, so you want big bites. Put that on. So the salt does two things. Well, the salt with the alcohol does two things, I should say. Flank steak is not the juiciest, moistest steak. So the alcohol with the steak kind of breaks down the fibers. And that's the other reason why you kind of want to push your salt and your seasonings inside, is to get that inside so it's more effective. So then we flip this over. Flip, 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 flip. Now, I will let it be known right now, I do not enjoy baking. I enjoy the results of baking. Definitely enjoy the results of baking. The act of, the cleanup following, not so much.
Put it on the bed. Okay.
Not so much. Maybe that's me, maybe that's a fault with me. So, again, generously brush with our basting brush. And the alcohol, adding the salt in there, will also help the salt get down. You know, the alcohol will help carry the salt inside the meat as well, as this is going on. Now, there's a French cooking phrase, I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard it. It's called mise en place. Basically means get your ingredients together all at the same time before you actually start cooking. So it's everything in place, everything where it should be, everything where it needs to be, so you're not running all over the place. Which is nice and good and fine if you're a professional cooking channel, or if you got no kids, or if you're in a restaurant where everything sits nicely and hopefully your co-workers put everything back where it belongs from day to day. But that's not always practical if you got a home where you got 5 kids and a wife and people don't remember where you're telling them to put it. It's not always practical. If you can do it, great, good for you. I hardly recommend it. Sometimes it's one of those good in theory, ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna let that sit. That's all rubbed in. We can even kind of put those on top and kind of use their own pressure to put them in a plate. Use the plate itself, the pressure of the plate, to kind of squish it all in. There's more than enough liquid there to, those are juicy already. I can feel them becoming more tenderized. So, because that's going to take a while, we're going to do 2 things. That needs to sit. Then toss this in the garbage. Then get in your room and play if you're done. Yes. You can watch all this tomorrow or later on tonight. Unless you guys want to see the kids. If you want to see the kids in the cooking video, bring it up. If you want to see the kids in the cooking video while I'm doing this, let me know. If you don't, and you just want to hear them in the background making noises and complaining, that's fine too. So while that's sitting, we're gonna do a quick change to these 20-minute biscuits, because we need to let that sit and marinate for a bit. So first thing it says is turn on our oven. Yeah, not clock.
Bake.
Bake. Yeah, there it is. To 425. Start. And let's check inside to make sure nothing in it. Nothing in it that we don't want in it. Excellent. Perfect. So, kind of move that to the side. Girls, I said your room now, please.
No.
Kareen, room.
I haven't had a drink of water yet.
Finish it up, room. Hurry up. How do those look good to you?
They look good.
They look good to you?
Juicy.
Okay, so says here, supposedly quick and easy biscuits. Can you get that? Can you see that?
Kind of.
I can post
blurry.
it down below. Quick and easy biscuits that melt in your mouth, made with 6 simple ingredients. Let's see if they're right. Let's see. How quick and simple are these? Well, let's find out. We're going to move the beef over here. Step 1, preheat the oven. Okay. Step 2, grease baking sheet. Well, we got a baking sheet over here. We have a silicone tray, which we really don't need to grease.
I'm going to my room now.
So, silicone tray doesn't need to be greased. Just place that there. Greased tray. Now, it says we will need 2.5 cups of flour. So our flour is over here. And again, as always, my beautiful darling wife filming this catastrophe. We need a big bowl.
I'm not any part of his shenanigans.
Yes, you are. You can't handle me for our shenanigans, child. You're my daughter. You're like the major part of our shenanigans.
Minor. But that's what I was hoping.
No comments from the peanut gallery.
The what?
You're a peanut gallery. No comments. So it says basically take everything and mix it together. So we're gonna mix it together.
And we need butter.
Yes. Well, except for the butter. But we need 2.5 cups of flour. 1 cup of flour. Let's see how simple and easy this is. If this is as easy as it is, we may be making these more than we have. 2.5 cups. We're not sifted, not whatever. Add flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar to the bowl together. So, in terms of salt, we need a teaspoon of salt. Well, here's our salt. Let's rinse and clean that. 1 teaspoon of salt. Well, it doesn't say we have to have any salt in particular, so we will just use very simple Himalayan sea salt. Or not sea salt, Himalayan rock salt. I wonder if it'll add a pink flavor. Probably not.
No.
I highly doubt it. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of sugar. I'm guessing white granulated. That would be my guess. It says we need a bit of reserve salt flour. 1 tablespoon. A tablespoon of sugar. So far, it's simple. So simple, even Nate can do it. Tablespoon of baking. Now, is that baking soda or baking powder? Baking powder. Mel, do you remember where the baking powder is? Probably above Kiara, right?
Probably.
Kiara. Hey, ears.
Yeah?
Baking powder. Where is it? Baking soda.
Where'd you go?
Baking powder. Got it. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. The brand doesn't really matter as long as it's powder and not soda. You need it flat. You can use a knife. I like fingers. My fingers are clean. Flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar all done and mixed together. So we take Mr. Whisk. Mixed together. So far, so good. Kiara,
Yeah?
please put some of this stuff away for me, please. You can put those away. That, and this. I don't think we'll need, well, leave the garlic there just in case. The salt can go away too. I don't think we'll need that any more of that. Actually, leave the salt there. But the big salt can go away. So, cut in shortening or butter to resemble coarse crumbs. And how much butter do we need? We need 1/3 of a cup of shortening or butter. Okay, so coming over here, 1/3 of a cup.
There you go, Dad.
Thank you. 1/3 of a cup. Yeah. Well, that's 1 pound of butter. 1 whole stick is 1/2 a cup. 4 sticks is 2 cups. 1/4 cup, 1/3 a cup. Measuring there. Oh, hey, guess what? This is 1/3 of a cup. Perfect. So this stick of butter goes in. So we're gonna pull our cutting board. And remember from yesterday, we have our damp cloth. And that was probably the towel, not the washcloth, but that's okay. It'll dry, it needs to be washed anyway. Damp cloth on the ground, cutting board over top so it doesn't slip, slide, and go everywhere. Now this is a honing stone, not a sharpening stone. The difference being that a sharpening stone actually rips the steel off your knife. The honing stone kind of displaces any burrs. Eventually you will need to resharpen. The other thing, when you're using a honing stone, good guideline, place your finger, place the knife on at the angle of where your finger is. That's roughly the angle you want. It's about 17 to 20 degrees, roughly. And then pretty much the same the other way. And I like to go about 10 times. So we cube it. And we're going to kind of cube, stir, fold, whatever you want to call it. Make them nicer, put them in. Because our instructions say what? Cut in the shortening or batter. So yeah, we're kind of cutting it in. Or we're cubing it in and then just kind of popping it in. And add half the milk and mix. So we're kind of cutting and putting it in. And we got milk, right? Yeah, I'm sure we got milk.
Yes.
I saw milk there earlier. It's kind of important to have all the ingredients before you start. It's a good thing to check just in case. So kind of squish those and mush those in-ish. So it's getting there. Probably I would be guessing that probably our shortening or butter probably should have been a bit warmer than straight from the fridge. Because that's not really, let's switch over. That's kind of mushed the butter in a bit. Yeah, probably should have been warmer. Oh well. There we go. Now it's kind of getting the butter in and mixing it around. And in terms of milk, we need 1 cup of milk. So half a cup of milk and then another half a cup of milk prior to mixing. Yeah, see, you can't tell the pink from the shortening at all. Like I said, cooking is much, much neater than baking. I like the neatness of cooking over the mess of a baking. That's why I don't bake. My wife likes to bake, but I am not my wife. And it's a good thing. She's much prettier than I am. Plus, me married to myself, yeah,
I think you divorce yourself.
Probably. I'd either divorce or kill myself, one or the other. So half a cup of milk-ish, half-ish. I don't think it really matters specifically if it's exactly half a cup. I know there's some purists out there. Oh, it's got to be exact. But you know what? Really, at one point, all recipes were it was one of those, let's figure out what we should do, to heck with it, guesstimate, and then only later where the recipe is actually written down to be precise. Let me use my hands. Okay, so that's ready. I'm going to mix that with my hands a bit. Kind of get it. Mixing with the hands is always better. It's always better. You can kind of feel what you need more. Okay, it's getting there. That's getting better, yeah. Right, that's about where it should be. And especially because you're baking, right? If you're baking, there's always this bit of give and take. You know, if it's a bit too dry, add a bit more flour. If it's a bit too wet, you know, add a bit more milk. You know, there's this give and take that you have and that you're allowed with baking. Put on a floured surface and knead gently 15 to 20 times. Okay, well, we're kind of getting it in. And I can see floured surface because this is kind of, you know, we're getting everything kind of binding-ish. Binding. Yeah, so we got it kind of clumpy and all mixed together. Probably had a bit too much milk because it's a bit more doughy than probably what it should be. And so our floured surface, guess what we're going to use? That is right. Good old green cutting tray. Sprinkle a little bit of flour down. You really can't have too much flour per se when you're baking. I mean, it gets everywhere anyway. But you're always going to use it. Knead. Right? Squish. Move it around. Squish. Right? Kneading is basically mixing it up. Think Play-Doh when you were a kid, right? Just kind of want it all kind of same texture. Get everything up. Bit more flour. Just because I don't like to knead or don't like to bake doesn't mean I can't. I do make pie. Make my grandma's recipe, and it was her mother or grandmother's recipe. It's been in the family for a long time. That you will never see me actually make. I was told when I had the recipe that I could not share or divulge on how to make it with anybody. 15 to 20 times. That's probably close enough. Pat out flat and cut out biscuits. Pat out flat and cut out biscuits. This is supposed to be 8 to 10 biscuits, so pat out flat. I hope flat likes being patted. You know what? I could do a pat out flat and cut out biscuits. Do we know where our donut maker is, Mom? Donut cutter? Because that'd be kind of nifty. Make like donut biscuits. That's biscuity, all right. Definitely biscuity, all right. Oh, it's definitely kind of biscuity. Yeah, see, 20 minutes my backside. There we go. I know I'm not entertaining, or at least I don't think I'm entertaining. Annoying is probably closer than entertaining. Especially if you talk to my kids. Yeah, they're annoying. Oh, there we go. Okay. Back to the wife. Dishes. Okay, so we're just going to go like this. We got a donut maker years back. Occasionally we make donuts. 1, biscuitish. 2. Ooh. There'll be donut biscuits, I guess. 3. We should be making donuts a lot more than we do. Donuts are really so simple to make. It's not funny.
Oh, you need yeast, don't you?
Some. 4, 5. And actually, you know, I'm going to take these over. Lay these biscuits on right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the kids are like, we're having donuts. Not quite, kids. But, I mean, if they're happy with it, if they think they like it. 4, 5. Oh, that's a warped one like me. 6. Excuse me. Let's kind of put that all back up together. Yeah, so we're gonna get about 8 to 10, give or take. And then we cook that 13 to 15 minutes, give or take. Okay, 13 to 15 minutes, so we can do that. It's been the first time in a while since we've used this. Huh?
First time you used it.
Huh?
I think this is the first time you used it.
No, we made donuts when we lived in the old place.
Yeah, but you didn't buy that until we moved here, so we didn't make. We only made like the Timbit type donuts, not the.
Well, we have it, so it doesn't matter. We have it
Paul
now.
Gilchrist is calling.
I'll talk to him later.
Okay.
Cooking right now. Hey, Paul.
No, we can't. I haven't answered.
I know, but hey, Paul. Sorry if you see this. I didn't answer your call on Tuesday because I was cooking. 5, 6, 7. And then just flatten that out. A non-donut. Probably for the baby. Baby might not like donut. It's okay.
She might like biscuit.
She might like it. She may or may not. And it says, no, that's not going to work.
No.
No.
I was thinking of making like a